We're at the Rat Bastards Car Show, a new class of old school with Ron Foreman.
Nice to meet you. Thanks for coming, man.
It's a pleasure to be here. Now you have some great cars here. How many people are in the club?
Right now we have active members, and then we have shirt tail members and guilty by association. But active today we got about 15.
And how many people do you expect to come over to the car show?
Last year we had right at 110, so we're expecting that or more today.
Now, Rat Bastards, what a great term. How did that come about?
There's a white ticket in there.
Shop banter, working together with friends and family in the garage. You can't find your wrench. You're looking for your half-inch wrench, and you say, "Hey, you see my half-inch wrench?" And Kim would go, "I don't know, but if you had it up your yin-yang, you rat bastard, where it is." So just shop banter back and forth like that.
What's a rat rod?
Rat rod is, there's a good example. They're hand-built, home-built, your dream. That doesn't take a lot of money, doesn't take a lot of, all it takes is you have a dream of a car and you want to build it, and the imagination, I call it Imagineering. I termed that from Mr. Walt Disney, but it's called Imagineering. And you get things like this, these awesome trophies. These are all built by our membership, and they're same principle. You imagine it, you draw the category out of a hat, and then from there it's all up to you to how you want to build your trophy. And they're all really pieces of art.
So what are some of the categories, Ron?
We have this one here. It's Fabulous 40s. This is the Frankenrod. This one is the Furthest Traveled. Roaring 20s. This is Young Guns.
I like that one. That's pretty cool. Wow.
You met Randy. This is the one Randy built there. It's kind of cool. Over the top. People's Choice. Pretty cool. This is Loud Pipes. We're going to do a Loud Pipe contest a little bit later. I think Mike's got that. Mr. Mike Fogue, this is his beautiful V12, twin V12s. He come out and join us today. I think he's got the Loud Pipe thing also. Don't worry about the category. Grocery Getter. This one's Orphan. One my wife built. Marcia built that.
That's beautiful. Wow.
She imagined it. I welded it.
Pretty sharp.
And this one is slow drag. We're doing slow drags over here. I don't know if you're familiar with what a slow drag is.
Tell me, Ron.
So a slow drag is about 40 feet long, drag line, the drag strip. You line them up. We have sets of fire hoses. You line up with a fire hose, and you put it about 20 feet out, and you give it as much gas as you need to go the 40 feet beyond that. And you have to have your back tires got to go over the end of it.
I've never heard that.
And then you measure the difference, and the one that's closest to the hose is the winner.
Here's a beautiful 1955 Ford F100 with Mickey Thompson heads. Beautiful paint job. Another beautiful car, a Rat Bastard Car Club member. Beautiful engine. Flat black.
You ready?
A future Rat Bastard. Talking to William Zespa about his car. What did it start out as, William?
It started out as an International Harvester pickup truck.
And what is it now?
It's an International Harvester pickup truck Rat.
Now you said you're working on your car right now, right? Something's going on?
Yeah, it's leaking transmission fluid on the way up. I blew a gasket.
Ah, and you got a gasket with you?
No, I had to go run to the store for it.
Ah.
So I made a little store run to Napa, pick up gasket, RTV, transmission fluid, and a filter, and I'm replacing it here on the spot. Got to get home somehow.
Yeah. And where do you live at?
I live in Snohomish, Washington.
What gave you the idea of a rat rod? Is this your first one?
This is my very first one. When I first, I've always kind of been interested in them, even as a young kid, and my dad owns a few.
I know, I'm missing an earring.
And at the time, I was saving up to buy a dirt bike with my buddies to go ride. And another friend of mine had this and said, "Hey, I got this for, you know, $1,500." And I was like, "All right, I'll do that." So this is my dirt bike.
Now it's got a great patina.
Yeah, it came like that. When I purchased the truck from my buddy, it came with rotten tires, and it was just this molested cab in a field.
And
didn't run, didn't do nothing.
How
Barely
about windows? I love your windows.
Yeah, I work at a truck shop in Snohomish, so I get scrap iron when I need.
It runs pretty good going down the road.
And what kind of engine do you have in it, William?
It's a small block 350 with a turbo 350 transmission. It's a Dodge driveline that I had to shrink an inch with a Ford Ranger rear end.
And how loud is it? Because you got some huge pipes on there.
It's not as loud as people think. I mean, it's decently loud going down the road, but it's fairly mellow compared to some other folks I know.
Well, it doesn't look mellow, and I love that about it.
Yeah, it's awesome, and I drive it all the time. I drive it to work, at grocery shop. I do all that. I do my normal running and everything in it.
Thanks so much. I love this car. Do you have a name for it?
No, I don't. My dad used to call it Wednesday because that's about all the time I had to work on it. I just kind of started calling it dirt bike.
I love that. Well, thanks.
Yeah,
and good luck with the repairs.
Yeah, I'll make sure and watch your show.
Yeah, do that. Channel 10.
Channel 10. Thank you very much.
A his and hers truck here. That was his. This is hers. And you have a ticket booth right here. You pick out the one you like, and whoever gets the most votes gets dinner bought for them by the loser. Brad thirsted about his car. What do you got here?
It's a 1935 Hudson Terraplane.
Wow, a Hudson.
Yeah, all original body.
I've never seen one as a rat rod.
Yeah. So, came from Idaho.
And how long have you had it?
About 2 years now.
And you got Rat Fink right in front. Ed Big Daddy Rock.
Oh, yeah.
I've met him before.
Oh, that's great.
That was a long time ago. Now we were talking about the exhaust pipe before we got in the camera.
Yeah.
What is it for?
So, super loud.
Oh, is that what it does?
Oh, yeah.
Is there going to be a loud noise contest here?
There will be. I won't win compared to that car over there, but...
Beautiful. When did you get started working on this car? How long did it take you?
So still work in progress.
Yeah?
I just pulled it out of the shop to come up here today, and then it's going right back in the shop. We're building cage and doing a bunch of motor work to it.
And how often do you drive it when it's
I drove it quite often last summer.
Yeah.
But goes to almost every car show. Last summer it wasn't a lot. This summer, this is the first and only.
How come?
Just doing a lot of work, building the cage right now inside, and then we're going to change it all over to fuel injected.
Yeah, where are you going to race it at?
I don't know yet.
Mission Raceway.
Yeah.
I live in Bellingham and it's close by.
Okay. Yeah,
right.
It's going twin turbo, everything.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Do you have a name for it?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet.
Well, thanks a lot.
Yeah, thank you.
We're talking to Jerry Fisher here about his beautiful truck.
Thank you.
What year is it?
1952 on a 1980 Suburban frame.
You know, it's huge.
Yeah.
What brought you with that idea? How did that idea come up to you?
Well, my dad had a few of these trucks when I was a kid.
Uh-huh.
And, you know, I found this over in Langley, Woodby Island. And it was just sitting out in the driveway with, you know, basically no windows and everything. So just wanted to get another truck like my dad's and make it a little better than his.
You did it all yourself?
Well, yeah, I did. It was all in the frame, but I put all the motor and everything else in. So they did the hard part of lining the cab up, but I took it over from there.
Beware of rat. Now you have some beautiful, they're not headlights,
They're off here for a four-wheel drive. Actually, they're made for Jeeps, and they have all different kind of eyeballs you can buy for that. So I thought, you know what, with the rat thing going in the front there, that would look perfect.
It
Just
does.
put those on about 3 days ago.
Did ya?
Yeah, I had a hard time getting them on there, so I put silicone all around so it'd stay better. Because the glass is more curved than a Jeep, so that was made it harder to get on there. So. Yeah.
Now, there's a rat fink theme going on here. Why?
Well, I grew up with rat fink. I remember going to the B&M grocery store in Everett and buying the odd rod cards and getting a rat fink ring out of the bubblegum machines, and you know, it was just like they were always in. He was always in my dad's hot rod magazines when I was younger, and you know, it's like seeing some of his builds, and it just, I don't know, I just kind of thought this would be a little different than anyone else, having the rat fink theme going.
Well, Jerry, you even have his hat, the way he used to wear his hat, the rat fink hat. I love that, and it fits you.
Absolutely.
So, do you have a name for this vehicle?
Just rat fink. Just a rat fink. Yep.
And how often do you drive it?
Mostly in the summer.
Oh, what color is it? It's got a
It's
nice
a regal
patina.
maroon.
Maroon? Nice
Yeah,
patina,
I
too.
use it to go fishing. I use it to haul the stuff at the dump. I use it for everything, you know.
And do people stop and wave at you and all that?
Yeah, you know, and you don't have to worry about everybody scratching the paint.
Well, thanks, Jerry.
Hey, thank you, sir. Enjoyable.
We're talking to Neil Prather about his beautiful 1925.
Shiv Roadster.
It's a beautiful car.
Model is a Superior K Roadster.
Now, you were saying when you first got it, what was it? What did it look like?
It was all in pieces. Piled in the back of a pickup truck, all in pieces. That was probably 1972. Took it home, kind of started to restore it. Got busy with other things and put it up in the barn, and I don't know, 30 years later decided to do something with it, and there it is.
It's got a Buick motor in it.
Buick. It's got a 57, 58 Buick nail head, 364 cubic inch. Tri-power. It's got a turbo 400 transmission, Ford Mustang rear end. And, very few modifications to the body, shortened windshield, radiators moved ahead 5.5 inches, and other than that there's not any modifications to the body.
You were saying it had wooden spoke wheels.
Originally the car had 21-inch wood spoke wheels.
And the reason you changed them out is why? Because you said you're not a...
You can't drive it. Where are you going to go in today's world, you know? So, and I'm a gearhead at heart more than I am a restored car guy. So I decided to make a hot rod out of it. The front bumper is a half of a 1931 Plymouth. Homemade air cleaners.
Yeah, I love the air cleaners. They're wonderful.
So, kind of there it is.
Now you've got something written on the door panel. Where's that from? Your family?
My daughter and grandkids were leaving to go to Australia for 3 years, so they decided to sign Grandpa's car before they left on their trip. And so I need to paint it someday, but I don't know how not to paint over it and make it go away, you know.
Or take it to Australia.
Yeah.
And meet up with them.
Yeah, and they're back now. Now they're in Virginia, and they're almost all grown up now anyway. But so it's may get to paint it someday, maybe not.
I love your steering wheel because you have something special on the steering wheel. What is it?
Well, it's one of those tip-over knobs, has Marilyn Monroe in it. The steering wheel and the steering column is out of a 1950 Morris Minor. And the gauge panel in it is the bottom of a stainless steel bread pan cut out. And it's kind of a hodgepodge, but it's a fun car.
It's a rat rod.
Well, I guess, yeah. I'm not sure what class it's in, really, to be honest with you. Yeah. But,
Well, thank you so much. It's a piece of art.
well, thank
It
you.
really is.
Thank you. I'm glad you enjoy it.
Thanks.
Yeah, he's going to have you come around. Just tell him you're parking next to the spider.
Gonna start it up for us. Thank you. So Karen, what is this truck?
It is a 1936 Diamond T.
What is a Diamond T?
It was a make that was started in the early part of the century and went through about the 50s, and later they merged with Diamond Rio. But so most of the Diamond T's you see are from the 40s. That was their biggest amount of vehicles made was in the 40s.
And what kind of engine does it have in it, Karen?
It has a 12-valve Cummins from a 91 Dodge, and the front end firewall forward is also from the 91 Dodge. So it has the IFS and the brakes and the power steering, all from the Dodge. And people ask me how it drives. I say it drives like a 91 Dodge.
That's great. Good. And how often do you drive it? You drive it a lot?
I drive it to work occasionally.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You must have a specific parking place.
I do. I do. Yeah, we live and I work in Hamilton.
Uh-huh.
And so it's not a very far drive, and so if it's nice out and I feel like driving it, then I can, you know.
I'd like the turn signals.
Yes, they would have been very similar to original. These are reproductions. When we got the truck, it only had one on it, and so we couldn't find another one, so we just bought 2 new reproductions.
What about the headlights? They have a brow. Is that stock?
The brow's not original, but the headlight bucket is original.
And I love the hood ornament.
Yes, and that's an original hood ornament, and very hard to find.
I'll bet it is.
Yeah.
When you go shopping for parts, where do you go?
eBay is about the only place that I've been able to find anything. We did find a hood side, just scouring the internet, just on some random website. It was somebody in California just selling them from their backyard. So we were lucky there.
I like the sign, Diamond T.
Yeah, it's brass.
Where'd that come from?
That's
thing?
original, yeah.
Oh, it's original?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Karen, I love the truck. Thanks for starting it up. And you have bicycles here.
Yeah, my husband made these from Schwinn bicycles.
Did you?
And,
is that your husband?
That's my husband, Brian.
Brian, come on over here, Brian. Let's talk about this. This is wonderful. You see electric bikes all around town now, but this is really cool the way you did that, Brian.
Thank you.
So tell me how it got started out. How did you start this idea in your head?
I basically saw other people doing it on the internet and wanted to get into the game and see what I could do, and this is what I came up with, these 2 bikes.
Do you have plans to make any more?
I do, but I need to get rid of one of these first.
And how much would you sell it for? Let me get my wallet out. Wait a minute.
I don't really have a price. Whatever I can get for them, I suppose.
And how often do you drive them, Brian?
Oh, every summer.
How fast do they go? Don't tell your wife.
They're probably 25 or 30 miles
Oh,
an hour.
okay.
30,
That's pretty cool, though.
They're bicycle tires. You don't want to go much faster than that, right?
Yeah.
And bicycle fenders and
Yeah.
bicycle parts.
But for me, it's just more the just the nostalgic value of them. I like looking at them, and
Oh, I would too.
yeah.
Now you have a fleur-de-lis on the side of this one. Are you from New Orleans?
No,
Oh, okay. It's a nice decoration. What do you call them? Is there a name for them? The style?
Well, not really. This one, I just kind of tried to replicate like a 1919 Harley or Indian
That's
or
what it
one of
looked
the
like.
early bikes. And then this one was just like a cafe racer, an early cafe racer is what I was trying to go for.
Well, they're beautiful. Thanks, Brian.
Yep, thank you.
We're talking to Mark Mejia about his beautiful car. What do you got here?
I got a 1977 Nova.
How long have you had it?
I've had it about 10 years.
What did you do to it when you got it? What was it like?
It was all original. Original paint, original interior. And then me, my dad, and my partner, we restored the whole thing inside out. Pretty much did all the work ourselves.
I love your wheels.
Thank
Your
you.
beautiful wheels. And your upholstery. In the back seat, you have your hubcaps. How come?
They're my speakers.
Ah, okay.
They're my speakers.
Uh-huh.
I took out the back seat and built the seat to look like a seat, but it's actually speakers.
Now, you got a beautiful paint job. It's a brown color.
It's a candy root beer brown, and it's got a black with a gold pearl and 3 candy red stripes.
Did you do that yourself?
No, my partner did it.
Uh-huh. And you have
we did all the work.
You don't have tuck and roll upholstery, but you have diamond.
Yeah, it's like that old school 70s. Wanted to keep it around that era.
And how often do you drive it, Mark?
As much as I can. As much as I can.
Good, good. And okay, we talked about Felix Chevrolet because I'm a big fan of Felix Chevrolet. Why did you pull that out?
My mother bought it for me, and that's something they usually see in the lowrider community.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, I love the car. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
We're talking to Mark Paget about his beautiful taxi. Where'd you get the concept?
When I was a kid, there was a car called the Chicago Express. It was a funny car. And ever since then, I've wanted a service car that was a hot rod. And at first, I had bought in 4 Divco milk trucks. Triple X. And those didn't work out. So I got this old station wagon, and then one day it just became the toxic taxi.
What did it look like when you first got it?
It was just a yellow station wagon, no interior. The motor was shot, transmission was shot. We had to almost, I wouldn't call it a ground up, but mechanically ground up restoration.
Now the engine that was in it, what did you have originally?
It was a 350 originally.
And what is it now?
It's a 355. It's still a 350, but it's a true blower motor. It's been O-ringed, and it's low compression. It's all forged. And yeah, it's a 671 puffer BDS, makes 10 pounds of boost, and it runs pretty good for a heavy car.
How fast has it run on a drag strip? Have you run it?
I ran it years ago with the old motor, and it ran 13 flat. Now, this is a new motor with a little more oomph, but it's never been down the track, so I can't really say. I know it'll do 13.
Yeah, that's excellent. It's a heavy vehicle because it's a station wagon, right?
It is. It weighs about 4,500 pounds.
Do you have a garage for it, or do you have to have a big
No,
warehouse?
I have a shop.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Yeah.
And what's your shop?
Where's my shop?
What is it? What do you do?
Oh, I'm retired. 40 years at Boeing, and now I just have it's a 50 by 30 shop on my property, and in there I have a 70 Challenger RT. And a little Chevy Love Pro stock, and this. And that's what I do in my downtime. I work on my cars.
Fun, really fun. How about the inside, the interior? What have you done? What have you done to
The interior is stock except the front seats. And they're Mark Cross seats out of a LeBaron Dodge luxury car. And then all the gauges are autometer to keep everything, dialed in. Other than that, it's pretty stock.
So when you go down the street, does anybody ever wave taxi?
Oh, yes. yes, they do.
I love it.
I get that every once in a while. And I also get, is that a real taxi?
You got a lot of nice stuff on top.
Yeah, I'm into collecting antiques. And I figured, I watched too much of the Beverly Hillbillies and the Munsters as a kid, I think. Because that's kind of where this all came from. So I've Yes, I have antiques on top of it.